New Haven. 2.5 minutes remaining in the half. Chargers lead the Yellow Jackets 1-0. Throw in here. Deep ball to Maiello. Misses the mark. Off of New Haven. AIC throw in. And that's a push from Maiello. Push from Maiello on Christian Torres. Spot kick by Consolini. And he's got Manacho right next to him. Potentially dangerous spot here. Chargers have to be wary. This is Consolini. That's a good-looking ball. Oh, my goodness. Ball ricocheted back to Torres, who had a quick open look, but was unable to control it. Went off of his foot wide for an Archie Watts goal kick. It was a dangerous position, and Consolini made a nice initial play on that piece. Let the Chargers avoid any disaster, and Watts lets it rip to the midfield stripe. Oh, intended for Maiello. Little collision there. No call. Now there's a call on the Chargers. And Yellow Jackets move too quickly. Referee Kevin Morrison halts play. Having a little discussion with everybody, slowed everybody down. Afonso wants to get moving right on the midfield stripe. Is number 4, Guilherme Afonso. And he pushes wide to Sundberg. Sundberg to Consolini. Back to Afonso. And they cross the Charger third. Torres to Consolini.
9, 8,
and we're inside 10 seconds here.
6,
Afonso
5, 4,
dispossessed by
3,
Maiello. There's Lindstrom.
2, 1.
And there is Agul letting it rip as the horn sounds to end the first half here in West Haven. For the Yellow Jackets. Referee Kevin Morrison ready to give the all-go sign as he checks his watch. And there's the whistle, and off we go for the second half here. Underway under the lights here in West Haven. Deep ball by the Yellow Jackets, dispossessed, and then recovered by AIC. Number 7 there, Thomas Lafayette loses it. Throw in for the Chargers here, right in front of the press box. Throw in by Porcaras to Santanac, the goal scorer. Out of play, and a throw in now for the Yellow Jackets, but dispossessed nicely. That's Maiello to Portas. Almos Nino. And that's a foul by Pietro Botasso on Almos Nino. Spot play by the Chargers. And that is Denis to Almos Nino. Almost loses it. Back to Denis, and that is near side to Porcaras, right in front of the press box. And he pushes to the center to Denis. And Denis taking his time. That's back to Daniel Elin. Elin far side, gets it back. That's Kvarnbach to Santanac. And that is centered to Agul, but out of his reach and pushed by the defense of AIC back to their keeper, Lucas Morales Fernandez, who lets it rip deep. And that's a nice ball to Botasso. who was hauled down there by Almos Nino. I think Botasso was looking for a yellow card infraction, but none given. Nonetheless, it's a dangerous free kick for the Yellow Jackets and Sean Manacho, number 13. So we'll see what Manacho can draw up here. That certainly is a dangerous spot here. And Manacho lets it rip. It's a good-looking ball. It's headed out of play nicely, but then fired back in. Oh, that's wow, that ball was headed out by the defense. I believe that was Leo Consolini who fired that ball through the trees, and it got through to Watts, and Watts did not see it, and it just happened to hit him for the save. Or over at 1-1. That was really Watts didn't see it. That's dispossessed in the box by AIC. And centered through, no one home. That's a nice play there on the far side by that number 4, Guilherme Afonso. I'm telling you, he is always mixing it up front for a defender. He is very aggressive and effective. Far and away, I would say overall their best player on the night thus far. That's Torres, number 10. And that's Manacho. Back to Afonso. Lets it rip there deep for Botasso. And that is out of play for a throw-in for the Chargers. And that's to Agul, who loses it almost immediately. There's Torres, number 10. That's Fidstrom. Fidstrom loses it to Agul. And Agul is taken down. And it could be our first booking of the evening. Nope. It looked like the referee was reaching for his pocket, but and he is indeed. There's the first booking of the evening right there. Leo Consolini. Yellow card booking. First one of the evening for both squads. And Agul right at the Charger logo. And he pushes it wide to Almos Nino. Tries to go in deep. Dispossessed. Ricochet. There's Agul to Santanak. Going far side. In the box. Oh, nice little back kick, dipsy-do by Agul, but Morales Fernandez was all over it. Not much pace on that back heel shot, as you might imagine. And there's Torres, number 10. And Yellow Jackets will take a breath and reset from the backside. There's Afonso. And he's not afraid to just go with it, and he pushes it off. Oh, misses the pass right there. And Denis with the ball to Kvarnbach, who gets pushed from behind to Eland. And it's a foul on number 9 there. Pietro Botasso on Kvarnbach. Kvarnbach, I don't know whether he fell on the ball. But, comes the trainer for the Chargers to take a look. Might have the wind knocked out of him. It didn't look like it was too serious, but Oscar rather is down and being attended to. Again, if you're just joining us, second half just underway. We're 5 minutes into the second half. Chargers lead 1-0, courtesy of a early goal from Pau Santanak at the 11-minute mark. And Oscar Kvarnbach. And it looks like he's about ready to get up there. I might have just had the wind knocked down. Let's see what he does when he gets up. And a little bit of a limp and a nice handshake there from Pietro Botasso. No intention there, no intent. Just there's something that happens in football. Two bodies coming to the same spot, and there's a collision. And Oscar is looks like he's okay, just a little shaken up, and he'll have to come out for a short spell since the trainer went out to attend. And he is just coming off the pitch right now. And that is Anthony Denis. That's to Porqueras here near side. And to Portas off a defender. So it's a Charger throw in far side. It's Porqueras, Porqueras with the throw in. That ball's in the box. Oh, that's a nice ball right there. It's Davide Maiello with a little rocket right there, just wide of the mark. Deflected by the keeper. Corner kick, first of the night for the Chargers. Nice play by Maiello to get that shot off with some pace. Looks like Portas doing the honors on the kick. And it's headed out by the defense, retained by the Chargers as they push it back. And that's Porqueras. And St. Louis. That's taken by Farnbach. Ooh, and that ball was juggled a little bit by the keeper. Some contact in the box, but I didn't think it was anything warranting a call. And that will push possession back to AIC and the keeper, Morelos Fernandez. And Davide Maiello with that shot there a minute or so ago. Good pace on that ball. That's a deep ball played by AIC. And there's Farnbach, who's back in and looking nice and fresh after that collision. That's taken away by AIC. That's number 9, Botasso. And he retains possession nicely. And then a little collision there. Looks like Maiello. Oh, he's going to get booked. Davide Maiello, and he doesn't like the call. Didn't look like a lot of contact, but I think that Botasso sold that contact, and the referee took the bait on that collision, and Davide Maiello with the yellow card booking. And they shake hands, does Maiello and Botasso, just outside the box, but got a substitute. A couple of subs getting ready to come in for AIC. As far side, the ball is off a yellow jacket for a Charger throw-in right around midfield. And that throw-in is intercepted and taken by the back line of AIC, pushed down the field. Alamos Nino here on the near side, Porqueras, number 5. And he loses it to St. Louis. Lafayette with the shot, and that goes wide of the mark. A little sloppy there for the Chargers. Fortunate there. And we've got a couple of players in for AIC. Number 2, Nicholas Chapman, and number 11, Georgios Nicoletis.
Yellow Jackets, number 2, Nicholas Chapman. Also number 11, Georgios Nicoletis.
And a little bit of scuffle midfield, and Agul is called for the foul. So possession turns over to AIC just past the midfield line. And Afonso on the back line pushes it into the Charger third of the pitch, but back to Afonso right at midfield. And he'll come the other way with it. It's Granholm to Chapman. And played out by the keeper. And Torres gets taken down. And that's Maiello again, and he's got to be careful. I believe he's already got a booking, and he's discussing it with the referee. And that's Afonso. Going to Chapman here near side. To Nikolitis, number 11. Nikolitis, native of Cyprus. And that's Afonso always taking the initiative. There's Torres, and the shot right on the mark. Routine save for Archie Watts. Torres got pretty decent pace on that, but it was right at the keeper, so easy save. And Watts will motion everyone down the pitch as he lets it rip into the night sky. It's headed by Manacho. And a collision there outside the box. That's a foul on Anthony Denis, pleading his case with the official. That's a dangerous set piece right there. This is a dangerous spot. Can't quite see who's taking that. It could be Consolini. Also see number 4, Afonso. Guilherme Afonso has been all over the pitch. Afonso standing over the ball. And that ball headed into the wall. And nicely played. Portas on the move. He's got Santanac to his left. Santanac will push to Maiello. Maiello down the side, inside the box, crosses over. Oh, nicely played out by the defender. And he keeps it in play. But then, unfortunately, Consolini did push it out of play eventually. Got Gianluca Trastulli coming in, along with Sandro Branchino coming out. Davide Maiello and Kanturk Agul. And throw in there by Albert Porqueras. Pushed out by the defense, or they'll just move it down a little further, and Porqueras will have another shot at it. And into the box goes the throw-in. And fired out of play by the Yellow Jacket defense. And there's St. Louis, number 24. And Yellow Jackets come out with it. Nicely played there by Almosnino. But taken back away by number 11 there, Georgios Nicoletis. But the Chargers, persistent, grab control. They're inside the third, centered into the box, and no one there. Pushed, redirected by the defense to the keeper, Morelos Fernandez. Ball goes deep. Denis Just lets it go to Archie Watts. And there's Trastulli. Trastulli to Almosnino, intended for Santanak. Dispossessed. And there's Afonso. Pinball action going on around the midfield stripe, and that is out of play off of Porcaras, so a throw in there. That's Chapman, number 2, with the throw in, and then he pushes it across the field to Afonso. And AIC crosses the, Manacho crosses the third. A little back attempt there by Axel Sundberg, and a push from Afonso, and Chargers re-engage quickly, but Charger player in an offside position, so the ball goes back to AIC. We're 60 minutes into this match, and early goal by Pau Santanak for New Haven, and that's where we stand. 1-0 in favor of the Chargers. And AIC looks to reload from the backside here. Nicholas Chapman, number 2. And that is Granholm 6, Chapman 2. Chapman to the logo, back to Afonso. And there comes Afonso, no, and he Consolini on the near side crosses the third and fires it deep. Looking for St. Louis. St. Louis has it in the box. Pushes it back to Torres. Torres looking. Nice move by Torres. Just wide. Torres has had a couple of nice looks here tonight. He's got a dangerous shot. And that one just off the mark. But nice collaborative effort from Dolby St. Louis and Christian Torres. And the Jackets have it in the back line again. Afonso to Manacho. And that ball is, unfortunately for AIC, played off of them out of play, and a Charger throw-in at the midfield stripe. And that is Branquino, far side. Loses that out of play for a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. And that throw-in in the middle of the field for Consolini. Misses the mark. Chargers take control. And push from behind, not called. But the Chargers retain possession. Referee says play on, and that ball is then played out of play by the Chargers, and it'll be a AIC throw-in in their third. And there's Consolini, 18. Dispossessed there by Portas. Off a defender, and now Porqueras will throw in for New Haven. Deep throw-in intended for Santanak. And that's Portas. Tries to fire into the box. Nice defensive play by AIC. And that's Christian Torres with the block and the control. And Torres gets it again as he crosses midfield. Nicely done. Torres on the move. Trying to go near side for Nicolettis, but he missed the mark. Intercepted by the Chargers, off a Charger player for a Yellow Jacket throw-in. And that throw-in is Nicholas Chapman. And it's Botasso getting tangled up there with Albert Porcaras. Porcaras called for the infraction, and Chapman will take it right at the yellow. And he defers to Sean Manacho, number 13, who'll give it a rip right at the line. That's a good ball. Hangs up enough for Archie Watts to safely grab it. Oh, long kick deflected by Pietro Botasso. Might have been off his hand, so the Chargers will regain possession. It was right in Watts' face on that goal kick, and it might have deflected off a hand. So I think that's what it did. And Watts will reload, as it were, and give it a rip here. Almost 65 minutes into this match. And there's Watts sending it deep. And Porqueras missed that, took some contact. Yellow Jackets have it. And there's Dolby St. Louis on the far side. A lot of speed there from 24, and there he goes. Centers to Consolini, to Torres, to Granholm. And there's Chapman. That's a nice play there from Porqueras, firing it off of Chapman for a New Haven throw-in here near side. And that's headed by Portas. And there's Torres who gains control. And Torres is shifty, and that's a nice ball. And there's a collision in the box. No call. I think that's a good no call. It was a collision, incidental contact. I don't think it was play altering at all. But Torres is quick, and he's dangerous. That ball fired away by Almos Nino. Afonso with the header back in, and here comes Dolby St. Louis. Another player with speed. And there's Consolini. Ball deflected past the back line for a Yellow Jacket corner. And no pun intended here, but the Yellow Jackets are buzzing here in the last 5 to 10 minutes, putting some pressure on that Charger back line. And here's a corner. And Elin with the nice push out. And the Chargers lose possession. Yellow Jackets have it inside the Charger third. That ball in the box intended for Afonso. And there's Elin mixing it up with Botasso. Ball centered in the box. No one there, really. And the ball goes back to midfield area. Yellow Jackets again on the move. They've had the better of it the last 10 minutes or so. And there's Nicoletti's to Chapman. Chapman on the far side. And that was Guilherme Afonso yet again. The substitute coming in for AIC. Number 12, Tyler Ferreira will replace Axel Sundberg. Number 16. And that deep ball is headed out by Chapman, but it's a push on Sandro Branchino. So that'll be possession for the Chargers right around the midfield line. And that is Sar Almos Nino surveying the pitch. His teammates getting in position. That's a decent ball in the box, but keeper Lucas Morales Fernandez with the beat on that all along, held up for him nicely. And he flips to his defender as they're on the move. And that's a nice tackle right there by Portas on Chapman. Portas tries to find, no, just ran out of, that angle was wide. fired it into the side of the net, but nice job there by Portas. The tackle on Chapman and then taking it down himself to shoot.
And for the Chargers, number 2, David Rosen.
And Coach Tommy Matera bringing in number 2, David Rosen. Some good second half speed down the down that far side. Rosen just checking in. And that's a hard tackle there by Christian Torres, number 10, on number 2, David Rosen. And Torres a little incredulous on that call, but call certainly stands, and Chargers with possession here. That's Daniel Elan with the ball. And there's Almos Nino. That's Fischella, dispossessed. And that ball is going wide. And Albert Portas will take a breather. Mattia Maiello will come in for him. The 70-minute mark. And that ball out of play by AIC resulted in a throw-in for Luke Fischella from New Haven. He throws it in towards Santanac. And that's Consolini over to Torres. Torres is very dangerous. And going wide across the field to Chapman. Intercepted by New Haven. Here's Santanac. Oh, just couldn't keep it in. Santanac kicked that ball out of play. Clock stopped. Throw in for AIC, and it's at the back line for number 4, Guilherme Afonso. Deep ball. It's number 11, Nicoletides. Centers, but deflected out of play, out of danger by the defense of New Haven. There's a nice deep ball by Afonso to Nicoletides. They couldn't cash in on that. Throw in for New Haven. It's Albert Porqueras to take care of that. To Maiello. And that ball's out of play. Off of Mattia Maiello for a AIC throw-in. Chapman to do the honors. Chapman to Consolini. And that is a throw-in off of number 5, Porqueras. Throw-in for AIC for Chapman. Nicholas Chapman. And that's Manacho, 13 to Afonso. Afonso and Manacho, the give and go. To St. Louis, far side, Dolby St. Louis. St. Louis to Chapman, all the way across the field. And that ball is lifted into the box by Chapman and headed away by the defense easily. Gathered in by keeper Archie Watts. So Watts again will be deliberate and motion everyone down the pitch. That ball intended for Maiello. And that's Trestuli battling with Torres. And there's Maiello. Maiello to Santanac. Oh, right on goal. It's a solid save there by Morales Fernandez. Santanac is dangerous. Kind of fired that out of nowhere, right on the mark. And that ball run the other way goes deep. And Nicoletides not close enough to it. Ball fired away by the Charger defense. And nicely played as they come back the other way, does AIC. And that's Dolby St. Louis, dispossessed there by Trastuli. Nice work by Gianluca. And he rolls it softly down to Morales Fernandez, the AIC keeper, as he starts things back the other way. And they'll go back to the keeper. And that is near side from the keeper to Chapman. Defended by Fischella. Chapman pushing it across the field and out of play for a New Haven throw-in. And that is David Rosen, who will throw in right around the midfield stripe. And that throw in to Santanak, to Maiello. Santanak 1v2, and Santanak got taken down. Trastulli to Fischella, to Porqueras, back to Fischella in the corner. And unfortunately, that ball kicked away and deflects off of Fischella for a AIC goal kick. Nice work there by Fischella and Porqueras. And we're 75 minutes in. So 15 minutes remaining here in the match. Chargers still lead 1-0. That ball deep, headed away by Daniel Elin. And Manacho with the throw-in right away to Consolini in the box now. Kvarnbach, nice dispossess as he pushes it up to Maiello, and he is hit hard from behind. And Chargers get possession on that infraction. And here's Elin. Back to Denis. To Elmos Nino. To Fischella. Porqueras. Fischella. Oh, nice ball to Maiello, but offsides. Too good to be true on that one. Great idea, though. And that ball headed away by Daniel Elin. And there's a tackle by Luke Fischella on number 12, Tyler Ferreira. So foul on Fischella. And the Yellow Jackets will play it from the spot. That's 18, Leo Consolini. That's dispossessed. There's Maiello. And he's got Santanak on the run. But he decides to go to Kvarnbach on the right side. Oh, Kvarnbach stumbles but regains his balance. Oh, great centering pass to Maiello, but just couldn't quite get enough gas on that shot, and it rolled to the keeper. Easy save. Nice work there by Kvarnbach, and Maiello was in a great position, just kind of misfired on that pass. And Afonso, oh, nice try by Santanak on the redirect, but didn't get it. There's Nicolitis. That's the Ferreira, 12. Back to Torres, and he's dangerous. He's in the box. Nice play there by Almos Nino. There's Fischella. No call there. A lot of contact there in the middle of the field. Don't know how Fischella would get a card on that. He got taken down. There was no call. And then as the scrum untangled, Fischella got his legs tangled with an AIC player, and Fischella gets the card. So that's unfortunate. But yellow card on Luke Fischella. And this could be a potential dangerous spot here. Unfortunate for Fischella. And this is Consolini. Headed out by Fischella. Chapman with the high ball in the Oh my goodness. That ball is in the net, and we're tied at 1. That's Botasso, number 9, heading that ball in from Chapman. Chapman just skied that ball. It looked like it was going to be routine punch out by Archie Watts. And I don't know if Watts misjudged the height of that ball, but it may have drifted. But Botasso redirects that high pass in, and here's trouble right here. And that is in. Good Lord. Talk about a quick change of fortune. Chargers aren't licking their wounds after giving up the tying goal. They're on the attack, and Santanak with his second goal of the game. I think the keeper, Morales Fernandez, misjudged that. Came out much too deep on a charging Santanak, and all he had to do was just bloop it over the keeper. And it rolled in for the second goal. So in the span of about 30 seconds, we have 2 goals. We have the crazy high pop pass from Chapman to Botasso to tie the match. And then seconds later, you've got the bloop shot by Santanak, his second of the game. And the Chargers now lead 2-1 here in the 78th minute. My goodness. Ooh, fireworks here in West Haven. It's not the 4th of July, but it might as well be. So the Chargers now lead 2-1. 12 minutes remain in the match. And let's see what happens here. This is going to be exciting, these last dozen minutes or so. End-to-end action. AIC has really had the better of the last maybe 30, 40 minutes. They've been put a lot of pressure on the Chargers. And here comes Chapman, number 2. Nicely played out by Trastulli, but Chapman had the nice assist to Botasso on a goal that at the moment tied the match, but then of course Santanak scored just seconds later to put the Chargers back up. And some bumping going on. It was offsides, actually. Yellow jacket player in an offsides position on that charge, so Archie Watts will be wise to be very deliberate on these goal kicks and burn some clock here. And about 10 minutes to go in the match. Chargers with a very tenuous 2-1 lead here. It's been a fun match. That ball deep. And that was off Maiello, but it certainly could have been off of Anton Granholm, but nope. Referee says off Maiello for a Yellow Jacket throw-in. That's a deep ball. There's a collision between St. Louis and Archie Watts on that deep ball. 2 bodies coming together on the ball. No foul on St. Louis, but they're just going to award the Chargers possession, and Archie Watts will, again, look to be very deliberate here as we're past the 80-minute mark. So inside of 10 minutes remaining in this match, Chargers holding on to a very tenuous 2-1 lead against AIC, and Watts will fire this ball deep down the pitch. And that is intended for Maiello. Goes to Santanak. And that's a throw-in for AIC off of Santanak. That's Chapman with the throw-in. And that's over to Afonso. Nice play on Manacho. Nice dispossessed by Maiello. Niello comes out, number 20, and Adam Lindstrom will replace him for New Haven. And for the Yellow Jackets, number 7, Thomas Lafayette, in for Dolby, St. Louis.
Returning for AIC, number 7, Thomas Lafayette. Back in for the Chargers, number 10, Adam Lindstrom.
And that ball back to the defender, Alfonso. Here comes Manacho into the box. Again, this is dangerous. There's Consolini, number 18. Ball fired out by the defense. That's a good play, good safe play. Just get that out of there. No problem if it results in a throw and it's just burning clock. Requires AIC to reset going backwards. Alfonso now taking the initiative as he's done all day from the back line. And that is Manacho. Back in the box, headed out by Elin. And there's Fischella marking Torres. And there's Torres down the line. He's dangerous as well. Got 2 men on him there. And that ball is off of the Chargers, and they're complaining on that, but it is a throw-in for AIC. And Chargers can't clear. It's just outside the box. And Alfonso with the deep ball going the other way. That's off the Chargers' back line, resulting in an AIC corner. Number 3 coming in, Cornelius Christensen, in place of number 13, Sean Manacho. Manacho's had a good match. So this is a dangerous corner right here with 7 minutes remaining. It's a nice play by Anthony Denis. Goes all the way back, pushed all the way back by the defender to the keeper, and they'll refire here. Nicely headed downward by Porqueras, out of play. But it's a good clock killer right there. Chapman, number 2, with the throw-in. Throws into Consolini. To Ferreira. To Alfonso. Botasso, number 9. Botasso, the goal scorer for AIC. On a nice assist from Chapman. Center of the box. And that is out of play. That's a goal kick. And watch how slowly Archie Watts takes this. 6 minutes remaining in the match. Chargers hanging on. That's a deep ball intended for Lindstrom. Over his head, out of play. AIC throw-in. Cornelius Christensen defers to Chapman. Chapman with the throw-in. He walked that ball all the way up to the center line to throw in, and much to the consternation of the Charger bench, but referee let him throw it in. And that ball fired way beyond the target for AIC. That's another goal kick for Archie Watts. And we are approaching 5 minutes remaining in the match. The Chargers, again, leading 2-1 here on a very entertaining match here this evening at Zolad Stadium. And Watts lets her rip. That's off of a Charger. Heard a whistle blow, but they allowed play to continue. There's Alfonso. Nice play there on the far side. Very nice. I think that was Portas on the far side. And it's off AIC. there's a throw in for the Chargers, intended for Santanak. Booted out of play by the Chargers, but that's okay. Clock is ticking. It's the best friend the Chargers have right now is that clock. As we're looking at 4 minutes remaining in the match. It's in the box. And AIC wants that contact in the box to be called, but that's a good no call right there. That's Georgios Nicolaides that got the worst of that collision in the box, but the result of that is a corner kick for AIC as the ball went out beyond the back line off of a Charger. So this is very, very dangerous with 2.5 minutes to go. And headed out nicely there by Porcaras. Oh, and misplayed by AIC, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Chargers. That's a costly mistake at this stage of the match. And 3 minutes to go. Chargers will throw it in. Chargers just need to somehow get the ball down in the AIC end. It's just been all AIC here. That's why it's just incredible that the Chargers were able to answer that tying goal so quickly when all of the action in the last 30, 40 minutes has been down at their end. So kudos to them for just coming right back and attacking after giving up the tying goal. And again, Santanak with both scores this evening. And AIC looks to reload as they, there's Tyler Ferreira near side number 12. And he's going to, that's 18, Consolini. There's Chapman, number 2, ball in the box. And that's Consolini, 18, and he fires. And that is off of Sar Almos Nino. And he's feeling the brunt of that deflection. And that went out the back line, so it's another AIC corner. As we're inside of 2 minutes, and they're not wasting any time. They really can't. And there's a lot of good balls outside the box now. Consolini. That's headed out. And that ball fired by Thomas Lafayette wide of the mark. And that is going to be a goal kick, so. Minute 20. See if Watts can just hold it until the 1 minute mark. It pretty much is what's going to happen right there. He's eyeballing it, motioning people down. And we're right at the, pretty much right at the 1 minute mark left in the match as he fires it down.
1 minute remains in the half, 1 minute.
And that's a push on number 10 for the Chargers, Adam Lindstrom. Foul on 10, Lindstrom. Push from behind on that goal kick. And Santanak is going to get yellowed right there. He's was complaining about the location of that spot kick and got the yellow card booking, but that just burns more time. 50 seconds remaining in the match. And it's going to be a yellow card on an AIC player who pushed the defender into the keeper. And that is Afonso. Guilherme Afonso, number 4, with the yellow card. It's rare to see a defender such as Afonso who spends so much time in the opposing player's third. He's effective at what he does. Good two-way player, to say the least, but a little aggressive on that. Resulted in the yellow card. Clock stopped. 40 seconds remaining, and Watts will have a kick at it. And clock will start on the contact, so Watts needs to give this a rip. And there we go. Around the middle of the field, that's Chapman, number 2. Chargers on the move. Here's Afonso, the aforementioned Afonso. And he's looking down the pitch into the box. And that's nice. And here comes Santanak on that deep ball, but keeper will intercept that before Santanak has anything to say. And we're 15 seconds away from the end of this match.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
That's it. Nicely played out of play by Trastulli, and that is your match right there, everyone. Chargers hold on, defeat AIC 2-1. Keep in mind, next men's soccer home game here